I'm going to give you a brief explanation about a feature in Audition CS6 called sidechain. It's a feature that's barely been implemented. Only one effect in Audition has the sidechain capability. To follow along, go get 1403 sidechain multitrack session inside the multitrack session subfolder, and there you go. Just two files here in this multitrack session, a vocal and an instrumental. Now, what is sidechain? Well, sidechain takes input from one track and uses it to control an effect on another track. And the most common usage is something called voiceover ducking, meaning that when the voiceover starts, the music ducks. It goes down to allow the voiceover to be prominent. And when the voiceover stops, the music climbs back up again. The volume drops, the volume goes back up, thus voiceover ducking. So we're going to do that here in this multi-track session using the only effect inside Audition that uses sidechaining. The goal when they created the sidechaining feature in CS6 was to find VST plugins from third parties that had sidechaining built into them to control things. But this is the only effect here inside Audition that does that. So I've got two clips here on two tracks. There's the vocal and there's the instrumental. It sounds like this. You've heard it before.
You were not at home.
What I want to do is have this instrumental drop when our vocalist Laura Lee Christensen is singing. So to do that, I need to do two things. I need to apply an effect here on this track that will allow the music to drop. I'm going to apply the dynamics processor, the one effect that has the sidechaining capability. So I go to amplitude and compression, dynamics processing, and there it is. This little thing up here is the symbol that says this effect has sidechaining built in. So I just click on that. The setup, I'm going to set it to mono because that's the input here from this track. And now I need to say, what should you do when you get an input, an audio input from here? What's your response going to be? And your response should be to get quieter. So I'm going to bring things down here a bit, bring down this so that we can have this drop in volume with this dynamics processor. So we'll bring the volume down like that. And you can check when you do sidechaining, check the inputs. These are set by default, so they should be fine. Stereo and left, stereo and right. Effect output left and right, but then this is the sidechain. It's either left or right. It'll be the same in both cases, so you could select either one. So now we're done with this effect, but it won't work yet. You need to send the signal from here to there. And how you send something, by now I'm sure you know, you go to sends. Click on S1 here, and you'll notice there's a sidechain option. We've talked about adding buses before, but here's a sidechain option built into every send. And it automatically finds this dynamics processing file, which has a sidechain effect in it or a sidechain option. So it says, is this what you want? You bet it is. We want it in the music track, the track name music slot 1. And slot 1 is right in the first slot inside the effects right there. Okay, now it's in there, and let's just see if the darn thing works. The music should duck here when we get to the voiceover.
I called you up, but you were not at home.
Pretty dramatic ducking. The only little drawback is that as the voiceover kind of just takes little pauses, you hear the music bounce back up again.
Please leave a message when you hear the tone.
So part of this process is to find effects that have timing built in, that have a little bit of an anticipation when something's coming up, or can respond more slowly or more quickly, however you want them to respond. But this is the basic process, though, for setting up sidechaining. And if you find any third-party VST plugins that use sidechaining, now you know how to set them up.